Hello everyone and welcome back to Spookier Celluloid, the channel that is too spooky for my main channel, Spooky Celluloid. And hey, it's October 2nd, which means that Spooky Month has officially started, and I'll be posting maybe slightly more on this channel than I have the previous months. However, I will say it right now, I am not participating in any of the 31 horror movie challenge. It's not because I'm too cool. In fact, I would love to do that. I haven't been able to do that kind of challenge for about 3 years now, and I'm always sad seeing everyone else enjoying all the horror movies while I'm sitting there working on some essays and some midterm exams, which is why I'm not participating. However, I'm not too bad right now because I'm 2 out of 2 days. Last night I watched The Neon Demon. Didn't record a video review because I was hungover and tired. But tonight I watched Nightmares from 1980, which is funny because I was listening today to the Moods podcast about their top 10 of 1980, and this movie didn't come up, only for me to check Letterboxd and to understand why. I don't think anybody on that show is particularly a fan of this film, which is sad, because I personally adore this film. I'd say I love. This is past the I like it, it's a good movie. This is coming up to the I kind of love this. Yeah, so this is a film from Australia. This is an Ozploitation film, so a low-budget genre film that came out of the Ozploitation boom, and it is from 1980, as I've said. It's directed by John Layman, and this, you can imagine, is kind of like Stage Fright mixed with Halloween, but it came out before Stage Fright. It did come out 2 years after Halloween, and you can clearly see the Halloween influence in the plot. However, the style, and that's what's important, and that's what I really adore about this film, is inspired by Italian giallis of the 1970s and 1960s. So on my podcast, we just did a giallo episode with Torso and Blood and Black Lace, and you can see that this is clearly inspired by those films in its style and also in its execution, since the killer is this faceless killer psychopath with some black gloves who uses, in this case, broken glass to commit the murders, which is pretty fucking cool. It's not just any knife. The killer has to work for their murder weapon. This is an old Synapse DVD. I'm pretty sure this is out of print. And I never hear anybody really talk about this. I heard about this the first time on like the Severin Cellar. I don't remember the director, but all they needed to say was an Australian giallo with cinematography inspired by Dean Cundey, and this was shot on Panavision. It's anamorphic widescreen. You can see the flares in the lens. You can see the wonderful blurry backgrounds, the amazing natural vignetting that comes from this lens, from those types of lenses. So if you're like me, who's very much in the technical aspect of filmmaking and in the visual style, this one might be a treat for you. If you're more into I don't want to say well done. The criticism I've heard about this film the most is that it's repetitive, which, I mean, any, like, films of this type is repetitive. When you watch a slasher, it is quite repetitive. You have people getting slashed. My biggest issue, personally, with the film is the pacing. Now, you would think that I would say that it's too long, but I think it's too short. This is a well-made, well-put-together giallo-esque film, but it only lasts 80 minutes. To me, it goes on way too fast. It kind of skips over important character development, especially for the character that we're following. So the plotline, just to say it quickly without going into too many details, we follow oh my god, I forgot her name. Ellen Ellen, and we start the film with her as a child, and just like Halloween, something traumatic happens. However, she does not kill a member of her family. Indirectly, she causes an accident because her mother was kind of, doing some little naughty things with a boy, well, a man, in the front car, and you can see that Ellen has a lot of traumatism when it comes to her mother sleeping around, and there's a lot of flashbacks to that. She sees her mother basically having sex with multiple men, and she's traumatized by that. So then we cut to her, and she causes a car accident. I think I mentioned it before. And then the doctor or officer, somebody, that scene is messed up. He turns to her in the hospital bed and he tells her that she killed her mother. So it's kind of messed up. And then we cut to adult Ellen, who is an actress who's going to audition for this play, and already she meets one of the other actors, and pretty much, as I was saying, the pacing is a bit quick. Their relation kind of just starts from there without really any explanation as to how they ended up together, other than, the boy being the boy. Why do I keep saying boy? The man being charming and really taking a liking to her, but like we don't see like them going on a date, whatever. It's just they start and then they suddenly are dating, we think. And then as the film goes along, she's doing her actress role, but you can see that she's a bit troubled. And this is also something I'm biased to when it comes to movie, is mentally ill characters with clearly mental issues basically breaking down and going on a rampage. Now, I'm not saying that she's the killer, because again, this is a Giallo-esque type of film where there's this kind of mystery, but let's be honest, this movie's positive are not its subtlety. It's overall, I'd say, a really good film. In my opinion, I really love it, but I can see why people have issues with this. It is basically a I say that, but I don't. I really don't understand why people have such issues with it. Like, people saying it's repetitive, it's normal. It's kind of like any other slasher giallo of the time. The acting is decent. It's not great. You can see blemishes in that. It's shot beautifully. The kill sequences are quite brutal when you think about it. It's not graphic in the way that a Lucio Fulci film would be graphic, but the way the murderer stabs their victims over and over and over again, and the killer just chases the victim around. It's not just slit of the throat, they're dead. It's really a pursuit, a chase. Every victim, we spend a lot of time with every victim. It's, of course, it deals with sexual trauma, so there's a lot of that in there. It's from the director of movies like Felicity, Australia After Dark, ABCs of Love and Sex, so you can imagine that it's quite sleazy in some parts. Again, the cinematography is beautiful. There is a lot of usage of colors, like green, red, and stuff. Very, as I said, Giallo-esque, almost Suspiria in a way, which, again, last night I watched Neon Demon, so similarities. Apparently I have a theme this month, because I also want to watch like Inferno from Argento. But yeah, there's a few movies that I want to watch that are quite artsy, quite beautifully shot. Of course, I'm gonna watch Suspiria, because I watch that every year around this time. Of course, I'm gonna watch The Beyond, because I watch that every year at this time. I'm gonna watch a lot of my traditional viewing, so that's why I might not post a review for every movie that I watch. Well, I won't. Just the ones that I feel like kind of doing a review for. And of course, I have some more horror-themed films coming up on my main channel. And before I let you all go, I will rate this. I give this a 8.17 out of 10. And if you are interested in following people that do 31 days challenge for this Halloween on YouTube, of course, my good friend and co-host Urshel Gillis, Shock and Shock, does one. But also my good friend Paul from Grindhouse Funhouse is also doing one that's very interesting. So both of them, go check them out. They're gonna post every day, I assume, unless they fuck it up, which it might happen. But yeah, go watch their channel and keep an eye on this one because it might be more active than usual. But I'm not promising a video a day because I can't watch a movie every day. But I can watch multiple ones on weekends. So don't worry, I'm still probably gonna watch like 30 something movies. This year has been probably the year I've been most prolific on my movie watching, and it's one of my favorite year ever. So I think I'll keep it up. I think I'm at the point in my life where I just really want to watch movies, like YouTube videos from time to time, video games from time to time, but honestly my main hobby is watching movies and reading. That's for school. Anyways, see you guys next time.